pretty much as soon as I got set up, we all got ripples in the water, and so right now I'm hoping I haven't left it too late. That looks nice. Good afternoon everyone, thanks for joining me again. Today I've come to, well, it's not a new location because I've been here before, but not for a couple of years, and I've certainly never done any videos from here. I'm at the reservoir at Guadalest. So I'm standing at the moment on the top of the dam, just kind of looking at the general scene, seeing what the water level looks like. The last time I was here the water level was definitely higher than it is now. But I think probably the very first time I came here, which was 3.5 years ago, the water level was quite a bit lower than it is now. Up here behind me, which you probably can't see because of the sun, right where the sun is the little town of Embalse de Guadalest, one of the most popular tourist locations in this part of Spain, and for good reason. It's a beautiful place. I'm not going there today. I'm going to do that another day actually. I think today what I'm planning to do is walk down the side of the reservoir and try and find a scene that will work for probably before sunset, because I'm going to want some light on the mountains. So you can probably see the sun is up there behind me, just blinding you there now. So that means that if I turn all the way around, these mountains and hills over here on the opposite side of the reservoir are going to be lit up as that sun gets lower. But if I leave it too late, the sun will be gone behind the Etana mountain range, which is over that way, and we won't have any light on the scene. So time to do a bit of walking. So a few years ago there actually used to be a boat that used to go out on the reservoir here. It used to take tourists out, and I think I must be on where the jetty used to be for the boat. Last time I was here this was all underwater. The boat hasn't been running here for at least 2 or 3 years, I think. In fact, I don't ever recall seeing it. But I know there used to be one here. I don't know how big it was, but it used to take people out for little trips out on the reservoir. But I think when the water level dropped here quite a lot, so maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the boat couldn't go out, and I suspect they probably went bust, which is a shame. Interesting. So one of the challenges here is you can't get down to the water in many places. Keep kind of occasionally seeing features that look interesting down near the water's edge, but you just can't get down to them without, well, you'd need ropes and being able to abseil or rappel or whatever you call it. Not going to be doing that. I'll keep looking. So I found a trail that's let me get down nearer to the water but I don't know if it's going to be one of these trails that just kind of dead ends and doesn't let me get anywhere interesting or not. Okay, so I finally managed to find my way down to the water's edge, and I found what I think might be an interesting composition. Basically what I've got is the remains of a building. You can see part of it here, but there's also some of it under the water, and there's a little bit sticking out. And then we've got the sort of the two sides of the reservoir coming in. There's some quite nice light on some of it. And right at the end I can see the dam. There's a lot of blue sky, and when I arrived here it was completely flat. There wasn't a ripple in sight, and we had beautiful reflections. And I did actually take one quick test shot, which does look quite nice, but pretty much as soon as I got set up we all got ripples in the water, and I don't know if we're going to get anything better than that test shot. So I'll just tell you what I did. I shot it at 16mm with the centre line of the reflections right the way across the middle of the scene. As you can see, I've got the tripod pretty low down, and I'm tucked into the side of this building here, because what I was trying to do was get the block that's sticking out of the water away from the edge of the reflections, and I don't know if I completely succeeded or not in that test shot. I shot at f11, focused on infinity, no filters, and I shot at 1/40th of a second. And there are a few ripples in that particular image, but they don't detract from it at all. Now the question is, are these ripples going to die down in the next 15 minutes and give me a chance to get another shot? I don't know, we'll have to see. Okay, so I hung around for a good 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, and those ripples in the water are not going away. Now I could have stuck in a ND filter and slowed the exposure down, that might have worked, but by that time we were losing the light off of the top of the ridges on the right hand side of the frame, and the scene had kind of lost its appeal to me. So hopefully that test shot that I took, I call it a test shot, it was a shot, just that I hadn't kind of talked to you guys through what I was doing, but hopefully that shot has worked out and I've got one image. Because I think that scene was finished for me, I'm now heading back in the general direction of the dam. What I might do, if nothing else grabs me along the way, is see about taking a shot from the dam looking up the reservoir. Depends again, if there's a lot of ripples there and no reflections, it's probably not going to be that nice, but we'll see. So right now I'm hoping I haven't left it too late, rushing back as fast as I can. But as I said before, any shots here need to be done well before sunset, because the light disappears behind the Etana mountain range. And I'm hoping I can get back to a suitable vantage point before that happens, because once it disappears, there's not going to be anything of any interest, because there's no clouds to pick up post-sunset light. I better stop talking and get walking a bit faster, hadn't I? Okay, that was a bit of a rush, but I've made it back onto the dam, and I've set up really quickly because the light is already going off of the scene. Again, 16 to 35 lens, about, I don't know, about 21 millimeters. Again, I'm putting the center point of the reflections through the center of the frame, and I've kind of got a slightly off-center composition using the edges of the slopes coming down to the dam and the mountains in the background, which have got some really, really nice light on. Okay, so I'm shooting f11 and the 13th of a second at ISO 64. Again, no filters, don't need any, and just using a 2-second timer. That looks nice. Okay, that's it. The light's gone off the mountain peaks now. The reflections have disappeared because they kind of rely on the light. And there's no clouds, so there's no point in hanging around. I always say, if there's clouds around, it's worth hanging around for a good 20 minutes, half an hour after sunset to see what happens. But no clouds, no point, nothing's going to happen. So I've packed up and I'm just making the short walk now back to the car. One of the advantages of coming back to the dam is I'm close to the car. And got about an hour's drive home. Hopefully got a couple of shots, and if I haven't, well, I've had a nice walk, but I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of shots. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you're not already a subscriber, well, now would be a great time to hit the subscribe button. Likes and shares are always appreciated, and I love to hear from you, so comments go down below. And that's it. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video, and until the next one, thank you very much. Bye.